What's up, everybody? What's up? This is Let That Be Known, and we are here to drop another story on you. It's heating up and things are getting messy. And I believe you know exactly what we're talking about. This is the 50 Cent Big Meech beef that has sparked news channels all across the globe, and everyone is talking about it. And we're here to give our 2 cents about it and what's really going on. Let's dive deep into it. So take this ride with us, man. This is my co-host.
Hey, what's going on, family? Yeah, we got a doozy for you today, so make sure you sit back and relax. Make sure you buckle yourself in and let that be known.
Let it be known.
So we can start. We're gonna take you on a journey as we dig into this situation here. Started out with 50 Cent and where Big Meech hung out with and took a picture with Rick Ross. And anybody that knows, Rick Ross and 50 Cents are enemies, arch enemies. So for them to do that, and it just snowballed from there. But we do have some videos to play for you all, and we're gonna get into it. You got anything else?
Nah, man, let's go. Let's not delay. Let's go. Let's go. Get into it.
It looks as if 50 Cent is officially ending the BMF movement altogether. Moments ago, he exposed some messages between him and Little Meech. That's right, y'all. Now, of course, for those who may not know, early this week, 50 Cent officially reacted to Big Meech being seen hanging with Rick Ross. And as we all know, 50 Cent and Ross, they do not rock with each other. So, of course, it was a matter of time before 50 let the whole world know exactly how he felt about Meech hanging with Rick Ross. And, of course, in a series of posts, 50 Cent has been calling Big Meech a rat. Okay, and in these posts, he's been name dropping a woman who go by the name of Tammy Cohen. Okay, now apparently this woman is an informant. Okay, and it seems as if 50 is getting ready to do a docuseries with this woman, exposing this whole controversy with this lady and Big Meech. Right, so now everyone is wondering what is the status between 50 Cent and Meech's son. Right, considering 50 Cent put him in acting school, made him a star in this BMF series. And, moments ago, 50 Cent, uploading these messages, it seems as if it's over between him and Little Meech as well. Now, for those who haven't seen the thread between Little Meech and 50, moments ago, he uploaded this post, and in the post, it reads, "They just told me you unfollowed me off Instagram, and now you managing Skilla Baby with Rocket when I brought him around you first, when you didn't have a clue who he was. Now you mad at me when I would take the shirt off my back for you. I can't believe this, man. You act as if I'm your enemy. I've only showed you love and loyalty. I'm human. I go through my own shit, but I never switched up on you. F Ross, but he gave my dad some bread so he can afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. This internet shit is throwing me off, man. You know me in real life." Then 50 responds to Little Meech in the caption of this post saying, "What next season, little nigga?"
Hey,
I mean, listen, 50
Wow.
right now, he's on one. If I was anyone else right now, I would just leave 50 alone because, listen, considering, the post he made about Irv last night, a lot of people were upset with that. And now him, making a series of posts going off on Meech, right? Big Meech now cutting Little Meech off. Listen, man, leave 50 alone right now, okay? Because it's no telling what he's capable of doing next. And like I said, a lot of people, they sitting back observing. I'm seeing the reaction from a lot of people on social media. And I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of mixed, right? Some people are sitting back and wondering why is 50 Cent so upset at the fact that Big Meech is seen hanging out with Rick Ross, right? And then you have those who feel like, considering everything that 50 has done for Big Meech's son, right, along with the BMF brand, why not show loyalty to 50 publicly, right? Especially coming home immediately. However, everyone, they don't see it the same. And, this is why it's mixed reviews, right? So many people kind of on the fence because people love to see 50 troll, right? Until it goes overboard. Then it's like, all right, 50. That's what I mean with Irv Gotti last night and his reaction to the rumors of Irv Gotti being on life support. So, right now, this is, day 3, day 4, and he's exposing these messages with little Meech. I mean, like I said, it's safe to say that this whole BMF 50 Cent wave is officially over, man. Because now he's saying what next season, right? And again, for those who may not know, 50 and Stars, they've been having their issues, and that's why he's been, segueing over to 50 Cent action and, doing his own thing. So listen, now he's making implications that he might do a docuseries with this Tammy Cohen woman, and exposing her story involving with Big Meech, and like I said, it's getting real messy. You know what I mean? And now everybody is sitting back wondering what's the next move. And damn, little Meech like, yo, I would never do something like this to to you. But again, like I said, seeing how 50 has been moving these past couple days, I think it's best that just fall back, leave 50 alone, because in the end, Ross, he done, sat back, made a series of videos clowning 50. And Meech, he done responded back, calling 50 an internet gangster. But as of right now, this is where we are with this controversy involving 50 Cent.
Wow. So, so for those who I know there was a lot to be dumped on those for those who don't really know the story. So 50 Cent is a TV producer. He produces shows, he comes up with shows, he writes shows. And he decided to do a show on the infamous drug gang BMF. The drug leader, which is Big Meech, has been locked up, but he got out early. And 50 decided to do a TV show, and he decided to use his son as the main character. But the other producers of the show didn't want his son. They wanted a more seasoned actor. But 50 fought for him. 50 paid to have him in acting school, put him through acting school for a whole year, and essentially just gave him the part. And basically put money in Meech's pocket, basically gave him a career. And the way that 50 operates is a little bit different than most people would operate. And that's what we really got to get into, because most people I know will be like, why did he care if he took a picture with Rick Ross, or why did he care if he hung out with Rick Ross? This is who 50 has been ever since 50 has gotten shot. When 50 got shot 9 times, he didn't trust nobody, especially if you hang out with people that supposedly be opposition of him, supposed to be, quote unquote, as the young folks say, ops. So he doesn't trust him. So now we're in a situation to where this TV show's going on, and a new season was supposed to come up, but Rick Ross, called himself being slick, ends up taking the picture with Big Meech, and not only taking the picture with him, but he posts the picture. And I don't know what he thought that 50 was going to do, or I don't know if he thought that 50 wouldn't take it all the way there like we are now, but 50 has taken it all the way there, and he's basically shut down everything. And so Rick Ross basically tricked Big Meech out of his position. And now everything is shut down. They were supposed to have a whole concert for Big Meech, a welcome home concert. And all of the rappers dropped out because of all the snitch allegations that have come up, which we would get into a little bit later into the show. of everyone that was calling Big Meech a snitch, a snitch. Oh, he's a snitch. Now there might be a little bit something to it as we see later into the show, but that's pretty much the gist of what's going on. And so now Little Meech is caught up in the mix between his dad, Rick Ross, and 50. Now, what people need to understand is Big Meech, when the show came out, he was locked up. So he can't sign contracts. He can't do any legally binding deals while you're in prison. They won't let you do it. You can't do it. So he has to get someone who can sign on his behalf and basically take care of his estate while he's locked up. So he gives his rights over to the lady Cohen. What's her first name?
Uh, Tammy Cohen's.
Tammy Cohen. He gives her, and this was supposed to be a quote unquote assistant, but also a lady that he was also seeing. And this was the lady that's supposed to be the third party snitch. So Meech was giving her information on people that she can go to the police to tell on Meech's behalf. That's the allegations that's going around to kind of fill everybody in about what's going on, just in case you just oblivious to the whole story. And so now we're stuck in a position, or they're stuck in a position, or I should say Big Meech is stuck in a position because he don't have his rights and he don't have a TV show no more. So Little Meech ain't making no money. Big Meech ain't gonna make no money because she owned the rights. She owned his share of his rights to the show, and 50 owns the rights to BMF. So no one else can do a BMF show unless 50 gives clearance. And as we see, 50 ain't giving nothing. And so 50, with what he's been through the type of things that, coming from the streets, being shot up. He's in a position of, I can't trust you if you're hanging out with someone who's supposed to be quote unquote an enemy of mine. Not saying that you are conspiring against me, but I don't know what you're doing. And Rick Ross is basically hanging with Meech because really to spite 50. And so we're stuck there. And then they often, we're going to move on, but the Irv Gotti. Everyone was mad at 50 about the Irv Gotti. His statements, his posts. So for those who don't know, Irv Gotti was like CEO of Murder Inc., which consists of artists like Ja Rule, Ashanti. I believe DMX was there for a point of time.
Short point, yeah.
So those are some of the big name artists that they had. But Irv Gotti was linked with Supreme. And quote unquote, Supreme is the one that was supposed to be behind the one that lined 50 up to get shot up. So, and Irv is the one that was blackballing 50 in the earlier of his career. So 50 couldn't get a record deal because Irv Gotti. Murder Inc. was really big, and Irv was basically saying, if you sign him, I'll never do no business with you. And so that kind of was blackballing 50. And the only lifeline he had was his only saving grace, which was Eminem. So that's the gist of it. But we'll move on, and I just want to fill everybody in because I don't want you watching this and be like, what's going on? Well, why he mad? Or
yeah,
and
then not only that, he has a reputation of when people cross them, or as the young people say, when it's up, it's stuck
That has been 50.
for 20 plus years. This is 50. If you cross him, it's up.
The only one I've seen him reconcile with was Fat
Was
Joe.
was Fat Joe.
And him and Fat Joe never really had
Man,
problems.
it
The
was
only
people
issue
around them.
was, yeah, Fat Joe was basically linked with people that he had problems with. And
Right.
so Fat Joe was just kind of married into the situation. And so, if you had to choose a side, obviously Fat Joe gonna choose, his friends. Like, I know these guys. I don't know you. Like,
Right.
so, you know, that's just kind of how it went. So, but we have a crazy one here, guys. It's crazy. This is crazy, man. Like 50 cut off his own son. So I don't know what y'all expect out of this man.
Facts.
Like the
Facts.
stuff that he doing, like I don't know what to expect out of him. And Big Meech, I know he's been gone a long time, but things have changed. And you came out moving like you just went in. Like you not hot no more, brother. A lot of young people don't know who you are. They don't know nothing about BMF. And the ones that do know, they only know through the TV show.
Yeah.
The people that know about BMF is the people who grew up at least the late 90s. At least the late
At
90s.
least, yeah.
You have to be born 97, 98 to kind of know what BMF kind of was and how it was buzzing. Other than that, he got locked up in 05. So if you was born 2000 afterwards, the oldest you was 5 years old. And yeah.
Yeah.
Versus everyone else, we was pretty, older, danger teenagers when this was going down. So so I think I was I 12?
Because I was 18 when Big Meech got busted. So you was 12?
I had to be about 12,
12,
13, somewhere around there. So like you hear that, we, like I said, we was teenagers when this was going on. So we was well aware of the name buzzing and stuff like that. But things have changed, man, and everything is ran by social media. And if you don't have a social media and if you ain't popular on social media, you essentially ain't nobody. Essentially how it goes. So man, we'll get into it, man. We got some more videos, man. We'll show you, man, of how spicy this gets, man. And man, it's a crazy side. It's a crazy thing, man. No matter which side you're picking, what side you're standing on, even if you're neutral, like we are, we're neutral. I ain't got no dog in the
Ain't got
fight.
no dog in the fight.
I don't care one way or another. It don't affect me one way or another. So, I just know it's crazy. But man, we'll dive into the next one, man.
Well, you touched on this. 50 Cent and Big Meech are going at it. Yeah. And apparently it was after Meech took a photo with Rick Ross.
I called that one. Everybody thought I was crazy.
Right. And also, I guess, the whole upcoming Welcome Home concert.
I think it was more the picture of Rick Ross.
It was more the picture. But, it's interesting how this is sort of playing out. 50 put a picture of a rat with, I think, on Big Meech, with the caption, "The biggest mistake he ever made was not sustaining his relationship with Tammy Cowan. Her tell-all documentary reveals the truth." So Tammy was the one that Meech sold his life rights to, right?
Yes.
And they're saying that she was the one that he was doing third-party cooperations with?
That's a fact.
Okay.
We got that paperwork.
Oh, you got the paperwork?
That's a fact.
Okay. So according to you, what you said was, Meech's confidant Tammy Cohen allegedly told 50 of the times that Meech told her to conspire with federal authorities in other street cases. He also said that Tammy Cohen had two possible reasons to turn on Meech. Meech wanted to get his life rights back, or she felt abandoned by him when he got out of jail.
Yeah, I mean, when you're sitting back, you think about it, right? When you got a female that's running for you, are you in prison? Putting her life on the line, you entrusted in her to keep your secrets, right? You done signed over your life rights and all these things, right? I know the conversation as an inmate that we have with women. Baby, it's me and you, right? I gave the life rights to you. I didn't give them to my baby mama. I didn't gave them to you. I need you to do this thing, like make this happen. And she's doing all these things, right? And then he gets out of paroles to his baby mama.
Look, I've seen this so many times. These women who hold these men down for years, they're these middle-aged women, who are holding this guy down for 5-10 years. They get out, and this dude has a little bit of fame. These girls are popping up with BBLs and everything, a bunch of stuff they've never seen before, when they got locked up.
Bro.
And they gonna lose their mind. And that older female that's been holding them down is, I'll hit you back. I've seen it happen over and over again without naming any names.
So once Meech comes home, being the boss type of guy he is, what's the first thing he gonna want to take back control of?
Who's right?
His life rights?
Boom. Where's he living? Little Meech baby mama.
Mm-hmm.
Little Meech mama. Right? She's emotional. Who she been working with the last 4 or 5 years? 50. Soon as she confides and needs that shoulder, 50 gonna give it to her. Now you say, well, why? They were good. Rick Ross hadn't done any of these things. Hey man, 48 laws of power, right? 50 is going to prepare itself in the event or just in case you do try to do something to violate it. Look, this is gonna get ugly.
This is gonna
get comfy thing.
This is gonna get interesting because Lil Meech was texting 50, which he posted. He basically said, "Fuck Ross," but he gave my dad some bread so he could afford to pay his bills until our next season starts. And he responded, "What next season, little ninja?"
He triggered 50.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. You remember this? What was 50's son running around doing?
Oh, Marquise?
Same thing.
He was running around with all his ops.
Yeah.
Right? So when he sees this, he looking at like, little nigga, you supposed to be standing with your daddy. Now you told me your daddy broke. You didn't diss Rick Ross. So if you'll do him like that, you'll do me like that. You collateral damage anyway.
So how you feel? How you feel about that? How you feel about his take on the situation at hand?
This is a classic case of being tricked out of your position, as you said earlier. You have the one person, well, the two people you can't piss off. You pissed off. First, it was Tammy Cohen's who has your life rights, and like Wack 100 said, what you been saying to her, while you was locked up, and I'm sure promises and things like that nature was made, and you got out here and did the complete opposite. And one thing about a woman when she gets scorned,
boy, ain't that like a woman, boy. You ain't seen hell until you seen a woman scorn, boy.
It's better to be on a rooftop in the desert.
That's what the Bible say. Than to deal with a nagging woman, boy.
And he did. I mean, that's just common sense.
But 50 operates he operates under the 48 laws of power.
Mm-hmm.
He has stated this numerous of times. He operates by it.
And for him to come out and doing that, then on top of that, I think at the very least, Lil Meech should have told Big Meech, you don't fool with Ross at all.
But
At all.
he's not thinking like that. None of them was really thinking.
It's history of this.
They're not thinking like 50. He's not thinking like 48 laws of power. He's not thinking like that. Little Meech he was actually thinking it was innocent. Like Rick Ross is giving my dad some money. My dad needed some money. He's not thinking, man, Ross is giving my dad this money for a reason.
If you don't learn your history, you deem to repeat it. And this is what's going on.
And 50 is basically saying he used you.
Facts. For some change.
Now, he could have avoided this. Now, let me sprinkle this on y'all. In the words of E40, let me sprinkle y'all a little bit. The very one that could have helped him avoid this situation, which is Little Meech, is Michael Rainey Jr. himself. Which Michael Rainey Jr. tried. Ever since BMF came out, Michael Rainey Jr. was trying to mentor Little Meech. Yeah. But Little Meech is older, and he wanted to kind of son Michael Rainey. And so that kind of made Michael Rainey kind of fall back, like, okay, I ain't on that type of time. And so they had a beef kind of going on. They kept it kind of playful, but it was more serious than what they was leading on. And they kind of stayed cordial because, of course, you're working for the same network, and you have the same bosses essentially. So you're basically co-workers. And so basically trying to instruct him on how to move, how to navigate himself. In so many words, how to deal with 50. And so he kind of rejected that. And so Michael Rainey Jr., somebody made a post and said, hey, Michael, you should have, kind of coached up, Little Meech. And he said, I tried to. He wanted to be on some other stuff, so I let that go.
Yeah.
Like 48 Laws of Power, like 50 is willing to burn down the BMF banner, the show and all. He's willing to scorch the earth of it. That's part of the 48 Laws of Power. I'll build something else. I'll scorch the earth with this.
Facts.
To prove my power and dominance, I'll show you.
And this is not my lifeline like it is for Lil Meech.
And so Little Meech didn't take the career part serious.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a once in a lifetime opportunity going with 50. That's where your loyalty should have been. Your loyalty should have been with 50, and you should have already laced your dad up on game.
Facts.
Because 50 could have did way more for Big Meech than Rick Ross could have ever done.
And then even outside of the show, he was getting Lil Meech appearances at clubs.
Well, that's what Michael Rainey said. 50 does that for all the cast. He'll get you, they'll treat you like a rapper essentially. Like you getting paid for pop-up shows. Just to go to the club for 30 minutes, leave. Just to say you've been in that club. So the club can get some kind of clout.
Yep.
And you don't make 20 to 50 bands off of doing that.
For a night of work. Not even work, just showing up.
Just showing up. They give you a bunch of bottles. Like, I don't drink. I gave them away. I'm literally here for the bag. Right. And so, like, Michael Rainey and them, they, especially Michael Rainey, he was a big star, so he's easily making 50K, like, just to show up.
Yep.
But he also did something else that was smart. He was conservative with his money. He wasn't spending it as fast as it was coming in. He wasn't dishing it back out. Like, you don't see Michael Rainey, you don't see no pictures nowhere where he's just balling out of control.
Yeah.
And he was on 2 seasons of Power. Two fractions of Power. He's on Power Book 1 and 2. He was the star role on 2. But he was on both of them.
That's facts.
And you don't see him out here with Lambos, and I got 2 Lambos over here. I got a Rolls Royce. I got Lil Meech was balling out of control.
Oh, and then dealing with all these different women, and what come out of that.
Like, wearing all kind of crazy stuff. Like, bro, like you buying $1,000 pair of jeans,
$10,000 pair of jeans,
and then you only wear them once. And you just started working. You only did like 2 seasons. Like, bruh, your career haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
And you dishing out money. But he also messed up the bag for everybody else on the
That's attached to that show. So that's a lot of bridges burnt because
the one that plays Southwest T has actually
Da Vinci.
Yeah, Da Vinci. He actually said something about the whole. He was mad at Lil Meech because he was saying basically, man, your loyalty should have been where your bag was. Facts. And not only your bag, but your career. Like, what this could springboard you to. You don't know.
Facts.
But I can guarantee you it's going to be hard for you to get another acting job. I can guarantee you that. Because the one guy that was vouching for you, he ain't rocking with you no more. And that was 50.
Him off. He knows some people in high places.
Well, they're just not going to want to touch you because he ain't going to touch you. That's how it goes.
And then you weren't the greatest of actors either.
You better ask Monique. Lee Daniels said he wasn't going to touch her, and everybody wasn't going to touch her.
Touch her. Yep. He finally came back around, but
and she way more accomplished. Yeah. And hers only came around because she's so accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
But you ain't even started yet. So they just gonna be like, okay, we get another one of you. Like,
wow.
And so that's the crazy part about it. So like 50 was the only one that was vouching for you. He was the only one riding for you. They didn't even want you for it. And if you want to really get truth about it, your own dad wasn't even sure that you need to do it.
That is a fact. I do remember that. That is a fact.
If we just want to be keeping 100, your own dad, when he was locked up, and 50 brought it to him like, hey, I think we might can get your son to play it. And your dad was like, nah. He wanted a more seasoned actor.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as the other producers on the show wanted a more seasoned actor for the lead role. It's a lead role. So they're saying, well, it will work if he wasn't a lead guy. If he was, a supporting cast, then yeah, we can put his son. If his son want to play, they were going to put him in the supporting cast. Mm-hmm. But he wasn't going to play his father.
What?
But 50, being who he is, he said he riding for you, so he rode for you. He moved you out to LA, put you in acting school for a whole year, paid for it, and basically gave you a career against everybody's other wishes. And then you go chill with somebody who he known to be enemies with, and now you wonder like, what's going on? And 50 saying, what you mean what's going on? Everything I did for you?
Facts. And then if and if it was about money, all that bread you made,
That's the thing. He was balling out of control.
You didn't take care of your money. So that wouldn't have even been a conversation because Dad, I got you. Pops, I got you. Don't go do that. We're gonna keep our bag.
Forget that.
I got you.
Even if he did. Hey, Dad, you do that, I'm not rocking with you. Flat out.
Yeah.
Flat out. I would have went to 50. Hey, my pops talking about he finna go hang with Ross.
My
I ain't
loyalty is
with it.
with you.
And that's just how it is. Ross ain't never did nothing for me. You put me on.
Mm-hmm.
You gave me a career, so I'm rocking with you. And this is essentially, I don't know if you guys remember, this happened when they canceled Nick Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
They canceled Nick Cannon from Wild 'N Out for some things he said, and they tried to get DC Young Fly to basically be the new host to Wild 'N Out, and they offered him a pretty handsome check. It was going to be 6 figures per show, which is a lot of money. For those who know the Wild 'N Out season, they go 20 plus episodes. So he's looking on that alone, 2 to 3 million per season. So he's looking at a lot of money. And DC looked at them and said, how I'm going to take a show from a guy that put me on? This ain't my show. This is Nick's show. The only way I would take over Wild 'N Out is if Nick gave it to me.
Yeah.
That's what Little Meech should have said. Hey, 50 put me on. It's almost like if you own a business. Say you own a restaurant and your vice president is over and he's chilling with the competition. You're gonna be a little leery. Like, what is he doing with chilling with them? Like,
that's the ops.
Like, that's competition. And so that's what 50 looking like. I put you on, I gave you all this, and then you go do that. And then let alone Michael Rainey just won an award, right?
God.
He just won an award. And 50 pulls up, obviously, it's from his show, so he pulls up in support of Michael Rainey. And 50 says, this is how this is how you show loyalty. It's rewarded. 50 has a lot of power now. A lot of those rewards gonna come to a lot of his actors now. He has weight now.
Yeah.
Because all his TV shows have been hits. He hasn't had a dud yet. Every TV show he's put on has been a hit.
Fact.
That's the kind of guy you want to kind of stay connected to. Like, man, everything he putting out is a hit. To sales. Whether you like it or don't like it. It's a hit. You not even got to like the show. It's a hit. Just is. And you on one of those hit TV shows. You don't see none of them other actors doing this mess. You don't see You don't see Amari Harwick. You don't see none of them doing
None.
this. Not even Taraji. You don't see nobody who has worked with 50. You don't see them going against 50.
That's facts. Joseph Sikora, who is Tommy off of Power.
Off of Power. He always said, man, I'm down with 50. I'm loyal to 50.
He said 50 could do no wrong in my eyes.
50 picked me to do Tommy. They wanted somebody else for Tommy.
Yep. And he had a resume prior to Power. So Macaroni Jr. did too, but still they know like, hey, this is the train I need to be on.
Like this is a hit show. Like this could
train
set my career up for the rest of my life.
Yep.
Like I have something to springboard off of. Somebody else will want to give me a job because my face is relevant.
Facts.
And then I have 50 to vouch for me.
Yep.
But like Michael Rainey, he much rather do TV shows because the money's better.
Yep.
Versus doing a movie, you go make $5 million in a movie, and that's it.
Yep. If that.
I'm just saying that's on the good side. Most people be lucky if they make $1 million. But versus going to do a hit TV show, which Michael Rainey is making almost $100K per episode, being a hit guy, being the lead guy.
Yep.
And you're doing 5 or 6 seasons. You do the math.
Rack it up.
So yeah, like I much rather do TV because the money is better. And it's more reliable, it's more consistent. I do a movie, I don't know when my next movie coming.
That's a fact.
And so a lot of people want to get on TV shows because like, hey, at least I got 6-7 years of income. during these seasons, I got a long time of income until I can figure out, where I'm gonna do next. And so that's kind of how Michael Rainey kind of set his up. Now he ended up getting a double portion because he had Power Book 1 and then he just fell into the Power Book 2.
And I got a feeling he's gonna be in 4.
The Force. He's supposed to. I think he's gonna sprinkle over into there and help Tommy out. I think Tommy gave him a call, and then I think a lot of those guys from there is gonna go with him. I think you might see Kane. You might see a lot of those guys sprinkle. Kane got shot. He ended up sprinkling out, but I think he's gonna bounce back up. But you're gonna see a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
But it's an unfortunate situation, man.
Let me ask you this: after this, where do you legit see him going next? Is it more so just like reality TV, or just kind of just reeling out of control? And
I mean, he was already pretty much reality TV because he getting caught cheating. He talking about he was taking some groceries to somebody. Like, man. But I think he will always be able to go to reality TV. But that's such a messy career to be known for mess. Like, people do it, they make money off of it, being on a scripted mess show. But
that's, especially with his resume or lack thereof, and also the acting skills, he kind of don't have a choice in that matter. At this point, especially with everything that's looming around,
he doesn't have in acting. You have to have something that stands out about you. He doesn't have an intenseness about him. He doesn't, he's not an action guy. So he doesn't have an intenseness, doesn't have an action. He's not extremely funny. He's not, suspenseful. So it's just like,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be reality TV, man. He gonna just ride that train, man. Cause and it, not like he do, music or anything like that. Is just he was kind of just floating until 50 came and scooped him up. But with that bridge burned, what's the show called? Hip
Uh,
hop.
Atlanta hip hop something.
Yeah,
Love and hip hop.
Love and Hip Hop.
Is that
So
still even going?
yeah, it's still going. They all over the place, man. So it's
Jeez.
still going. So I think Soldier Boy on it now.
Oh,
Uh,
what?
yeah. So Soldier Boy and Lil Scrappy, and
He been on there for a while.
so I mean, like you said, it's some bread, but it come with a lot of mess, man. But I think that's probably gonna be his pretty much his only option for us in the entertainment space. Um, I really, like you said, I don't see nobody really taking a chance on him, especially with all this looming. I mean,
He might be able to get in some independent films, like
yeah, some hood films or Tubi films, those type of things.
but for us, like big budget
Big
stuff,
budget.
I don't think nobody finna spend that type of money on an unseasoned actor like that.
Yeah, man. This goes back to, man, don't let nobody trick you out your position, man. I mean,
This is
what the most glaring, especially if you're a little older, the most glaring example of this is Ja Rule. This man has yet to recover. They've been beefing for 20 years and he has yet to recover.
but that situation there backfired on Ja. So for those who don't know that situation, Ja was the big dog.
Mm-hmm.
50 was the little hood guy, drug dealer, neighborhood bully type of guy. But Preem liked it 50. And 50 was Preem guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so 50, learned about Ja Rule and like he's supposed to be from Queens. And so he pushed up on Ja Rule and essentially just started like bullying Ja Rule, messing with him.
Mm-hmm.
And Preem is basically saying, 50, man, cut it out, because Ja Rule was paying Preem for protection.
Protection, yeah.
And so Preem is basically telling, like, man, he good, like he paying me, like, man, leave him alone. Like, and 50, steady poking at him, like, and so long story short, 50 ends up leaving them alone, right? Due to the words of Preem, right? He leaves them alone. Things spark up when Ja Rule ends up getting his chain snatched and robbed.
Yeah.
The guy that robs Ja Rule's chain is in the club, and he so happened to be talking to 50.
50, yeah.
And Ja Rule sees it. And now Ja Rule is hell-bent that 50 is in on this. And 50 just knows the dude from the neighborhood. Like, hey, I know. Yeah, everybody knows him. Like, if you're doing dirt in the street, you know everybody that does dirt in the street.
Mm-hmm.
I know him. He's from my neighborhood. But I didn't have nothing to do with your chain. I actually left you alone, due to the words of Preem. So Ja Rule ends up attacking 50, going off on 50. And this is where the unforgiving 50 sparks up. And 50 is in on him. And 50 is just going after his neck. And Preem is like, man, you got to stop. And 50 just like, nah.
It's stuck.
And next thing you know, How to Rob came out. And he's going at every big name rapper on the East Coast that you can think of. Jay-Z, everybody. Everybody was a victim. And 50 was becoming such a nuisance. They decided that we got to
get rid of him.
We got to get rid of him. He's a loose cannon. We can't control him. 50 didn't care. Lo and behold, we know the story of 50 outside his grandma's house, getting into the car, gets sprayed up, gets hit 9 times. They end up, the driver got hit too, but he was ended up able to drive off, get him to the hospital. The story is that a guy named Homo is the one that did the shooting on 50, which is short for homicide, which is a tricky story within itself. Because Mike Tyson
is boys with
is really good friends with Homo. And 50 ends up buying Mike Tyson's mansion when Mike Tyson filed for bankruptcy. This is for the laws of power. I'm telling you this just to know that who you're dealing with. 50 knows that Tyson is really good friends with Homo. He knows Homo shot him. And 50 buys Tyson's house. And 50's doing videos in there and flaunting Tyson's house in his face.
Yep.
Story goes later on, Homo ends up getting killed. He ends up getting killed or whatever. And 50 comes out with consistent bangers. One of those being Many Men, which he states about Homo shot him and then he got gunned down. Now Homo ain't breathing no more.
Nope.
And then the record that cemented 50 on top that really just killed Murder Inc. was Dum 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 in the club. And word said that Jay-Z heard the record and warned everybody, y'all better get him out the way before this comes out. Because if this comes out, it's over. I heard Michael Jackson used to be dancing to that.
Yeah.
Because he liked the music, which was a big record.
Yeah.
50 ended up going
huge.
diamond. The Get Rich Die Trying album went diamond. So just to show you like who you kind of fooling with. And for those who don't know who Preem is, he was like the biggest gangster at that time.
In Queens.
And the muscle was Prince. They was kind of a big thing. You know, something similar to the Jimmy Henchman of things. But it was a lot of gangsters from Queens at that time. You had Preem, you had the Supreme Team, you had Fat Cat.
Yeah.
You know, Pappy Mason. You know, you had your well-known Jack Boys and 50 Cent.
Yeah. And then the original 50 Cent as well.
That's what I'm saying. The original 50 Cent.
Yeah.
Where 50 got his name from.
Yeah.
He was a bully, and that's essentially why 50 took his name, because him and 50 was similar. 50 was a bully, you know, just was. He was boxing, so he was beating people up, and then he was shoot you too. So this is who you're dealing with and how he thinks. You know, he bought the man house, like, yeah, you link with him. So this is kind of who you dealing with. So,
and I mean, even to this day, he will still buy out Ja Rule's concert to where Ja Rule come out to an empty stadium or empty room venue. You know how diabolical that is? Here, I don't care about the money. It hurts you more to come out here to an empty venue.
I mean, it does essentially, because who's gonna want to book you? Because they're saying, like,
you can't say you sold out.
There's nobody here. I booked you to have people in the seats.
Facts. We're not buying we're not selling no drinks or refreshments, none of that. And this is 20 years, like this beef is 20 years old. 20 plus years old. And I mean that, and then let alone the game and Lloyd Banks.
It's a long list.
That's why I say it's exact. That's why I'm saying
Whack
it's
100.
examples. Whack 100. You see how he trading softly.
He actually had a story about him running up on 50.
Mm-hmm.
He took a gang, he said he's gang affiliated. He took some of his guys up there at a hotel that 50 was staying in, thinking that he got the drop on 50. He said he walks in, 50 turns and looks at them, and he begins to start smiling. They don't notice yet, but 50 got sort of like SWAT team security, but they're hanging loose.
Mm-hmm.
They're not up on 50. So at first glance, you think he's by himself.
Right.
Until they got closer and Whack kind of peeped like, oh, wait a minute. And they all got assault rifles. And that's kind of, he was like, okay, we'll fall back.
Fall back.
Like, he got 4 SWAT dudes in here and they all got assault rifles.
Yep. Nah, man. Like I said, it's just too many examples, man. Just too many examples, man. And usually when you go up against it doesn't end well for you. Now it's now one person that has a reputation for crossing people. Well, not crossing people, but yeah, I guess you can say crossing people, and that is Charleston White. But Charleston White, that is one person he has not crossed.
Well, Charleston White, at first he said he was upset, and he came back and said, wait a minute. He said, Big Meech is wrong. Like, and essentially said what we said, like, this is the guy that's giving you money, like he's putting money into your pockets. He essentially gave your son a career. And 50's like, this is what you do to me? Like, I gave your son a career, like I'm putting money in your pocket. I made your name back relevant. Now everybody want to do that. Can you imagine how much money he would have made on interviews? He would have made a killing.
Interviews, yeah.
Interviews, going on talk shows, going on radio shows, going on podcasts.
Yes, yeah.
Podcast is the thing. He could have did.
Or you could make something.
He could have did 100 podcast shows.
You can do just recurrent. You build recurrent like
Vlad.
Vlad. What's 50 Cent right hand man?
Tony Yayo.
Tony Yayo probably been on there 11 times.
And then if your name was still credible, you could have started your own podcast.
Facts.
Talking about the BMF stories. People would have ate it up. You would have made millions.
Facts.
You would have made a killing.
That's what Michael Rainey, the white boy that was with him on the Second Power, they made a podcast about power and brought people that was associated on power.
Making money. Like, we just gonna make money.
We're gonna make money talking about what we did on set, how we shot this.
What happened? Like, man, somebody pulled up, they pumping music during the set.
Yeah. People that ain't got just got killed off, they bring them on. Well, you talking about playing it all wrong?
Man, he could have been sitting on 20 mil easy.
You played it all the way wrong.
He could have sold merch. You know how many rappers would have want to rep the BMF merch?
Now it's tainted, man.
It's tainted now. That's why they dropped out the show. Like, I can't be involved with that.
And that concert, it was a benefit concert. None of the rappers was getting paid, so all of that was going towards Big Meech.
Now, it's saying that allegedly Big Meech started a GoFundMe.
Whoa. Is it that bad?
You got to listen. Like, in order for him to not get life for the kingpin status he had, he was pushing drugs through almost every state in America. In order for him not to get life, he had to give up all the stash houses. And that's why people were saying, man, how did he get out so early?
Well, and even with that, man, with feds, you have to do 85% of your time. And he hasn't quite done 85%. He went down in 05. You said, and so you got a 30-year sentence. So you have to do at least what, 25 of that? Find that kind of suspicious. Like I said, you know, we ain't got no dog in the fight, but
I don't care one way or another.
But some ain't adding up.
But just looking at it, and I'm just going off of the image that's being portrayed here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're portraying the image of a gangster lifestyle, it's against the code to tell.
Facts. You're not a civilian.
You know, so this goes against everything that you're supposed to stand for. So this is why it's tainted, because of what the Big Meech is supposed to, and the BMF brand is supposed to stand for. The reason why Little Boosie had got so revered is because he essentially got locked up and he didn't tell on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was supposed to be a gangster. This is why guys like that, they get revered in the hip hop gangster culture, the Boosies and the King Vons, and you know, I got locked up for murders and I didn't say nothing and I was willing to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's coming out that he might have, you know, this is why he probably only got 30 years.
And did 20.
For some of y'all that don't remember, when he first got locked up, they was talking about life sentences.
He used it with that type of what they call him with.
Because now you have to remember this. The worst thing you want is a conspiracy charge.
Facts.
Because that can fluctuate to anything.
There's no cap on that.
There's no cap on a conspiracy. A conspiracy to commit murder, a conspiracy to sell drugs, they hitting you with all of that. And so what you have to understand, they didn't catch Big Meech with evidence. They didn't catch Big Meech doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
He got locked up on conspiracy.
Facts.
They had him on nothing. They didn't catch him with drugs. They didn't catch him with nothing. He wasn't on the wiretap. What brought them down was Southwest T.
Facts.
Southwest T was on the open line talking business. And Big Meech was constantly saying, man, he's going to get us in trouble. And him and Southwest T ended up falling out. Because Southwest T was saying, all your partying, man, is going to get us caught up. You too loud. And Big Meech saying, no, my partying fine. Is you talking on the line that's going to get us caught up.
That's what got us busted.
And that's essentially what got them busted. Because the law enforcement was looking into the partying, but they had no evidence.
Yeah.
They didn't know. I don't know how you're moving money. I don't know how you're making money. I can't prove it. We know you're selling drugs.
Just can't prove it.
Can't prove it. Because nothing linking back to them. They having a call special made to move drugs across the country.
Yeah.
They was taking like campers, like the big RVs, and gutting them. And building secret compartments in there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have time, go watch. There's a documentary of one of his drivers. His name is, they called him Miles.
Yeah.
He did a lot of driving.
That man did driving like he was a truck driver.
I mean, he was making a lot of money.
Yeah.
If you're making 100K, in 2 months, you like, yeah,
Where you want me to go again?
I drive. You're making so much money, and so what made them invincible was Miles ended up getting caught, and he said nothing.
Nothing. He ate it.
He ate it and actually sat down. And so that's what made the feds mad, because we actually got one of his guys and we couldn't crack him. And when they asked him, he just said, lawyer.
Yeah.
And then never said anything. Never said nothing, where they came from. Didn't say they was his. Didn't say they wasn't his. Y'all put the pieces together.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing.
I'm not about to do y'all job for y'all.
And so
he only did what, like 5 to 7 years or something like
so
that.
I think they gave him like 10, but he only had to do like 5 to 7.
Yeah.
And so it was a very interesting story. He was running for Big Meech, not Southwest T. Now we have a situation to where they saying Big Meech, he got caught up, and Big Meech essentially possibly could have got less time. And let me tell you why. They basically locked up his mama, his sister, all on conspiracy, because they said they all knew what was going on. It's similar to a RICO. Yeah. If you have any dealings, any knowings, you can be caught up in a RICO. And so
hard to get out of.
Hard to get out of. And they saying, we'll let your family go.
But you got to take this time.
If you cop out. Now they knew it's a good possibility he can go with the money he got a good lawyer. He can go either beat this, or he can get so little time that it really is insignificant. He can probably go to court and probably get 10 years and be home in 5.
Yeah.
Because we absolutely have nothing on him. Now his brother was screwed. And he actually took the deal to help his brother.
Because his brother was trying to fight it.
His brother wanted to go fight it because they had all the evidence on Southwest T. And so Southwest T is looking at it. Ain't no way I can get out of this. They got me on audio recording.
Yeah.
And so Big Meech is saying, so Big Meech basically took the time for Southwest and his family. Right? Which is honorable.
Yeah.
Right? Which is why he was so beloved. Because he could have kicked them to the curb and say, hey, that's y'all.
That's y'all. Yep. A lot of people would have done it too.
But he said no. So they end up letting, his mother, sister, and them go or whatever. And the only way that Southwest could get the 30 is if Big Meech do the 32.
Yeah.
So Big Meech essentially did 30 years for Southwest T. Because had they went to trial, this is essentially what would have happened. Southwest T would have got life. And Big Meech, if he had got convicted on anything, which was probably knowing conspiracy, knowing what's going on, they probably would have gave him at max 10 years.
Yeah.
And he would have did 5 years and he would have went home. And Southwest T would have been doing life.
Yeah.
But for him to be able to get out of prison someday, he did 30 years.
30 years.
So that's essentially how it kind of played out. Now, where it gets spicy is to kind of lessen things of having a chance of getting out early. The Fed's like, you got some info? we might can knock 5-7 years up off this thing now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thinking, man, 5-7 years?
I'm in my 50s.
Jeez. Getting out at 50 versus getting out at 68, 60, you know, like, jeez.
Because he still had another 10 years on his sentence.
So he's looking at 60-something, close to 70 years old. So he thinking like, man, I can get out a lot sooner. Almost 15 years soon.
Yeah.
You know, like, shoot. He's like, okay, I'll do it, but I don't want to do it
through me.
Through me, I have someone to feed you the information. And that's essentially what they were saying. The allegations was against him.
Third party.
And so ends up there was paperwork out there. And then not only paperwork, but something better than that. The person you actually used to do it. You hurt her. The one that know all your bones.
All your bones.
She know where they buried.
And now she about to ooh.
And 50 sitting over there. I'm gonna make her kill it.
And you ain't getting a dime. He ain't gonna get a dime off of that.
She finna get paid to destroy you. And you can't sue for defamation because it's all true. Because she the one that did it.
And you don't get a dime. Boy.
This is how I told y'all this was gonna be messy. I told you how deep this goes. We just brought y'all full circle. I just told you how deep this goes. We walked through everybody's path. We walked through 50s. I told you about 50s life. I told you about everything. About Big Meech's life, his trial, everything. And now it's brought back up of why Big Meech reputation is ruined. Because the one that knows all his dirt and where his bodies are buried, he hurt her.
Yep, he pissed off.
She goes to 50. 50, you know, he's doing this to me. He left me for his baby mama. And 50 probably was like, oh, okay. But you don't understand. He did all that after what I did for him. What you do for him? How you think he got out early? I have him tell on him. He like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And then 50 ends up getting a hold to the paperwork and was like, oh. And then the picture comes out with Ross. It's just all lined up
perfectly. Got duped out of your position.
It's just all lined up. You couldn't even script this better. It's like a movie or a TV show. Big gangster comes home. Big gangster's ruined.
In months. This is in months. Months.
Man, you better tell Rick Ross to buy you some of them Wingstop franchises.
Something. Yeah,
just a couple of those.
Get you a couple of those, because right now, if you're doing GoFundMe, you're in bad shape.
I mean, Ross ain't gonna have nothing to do with them because ain't nothing Ross can do.
No, Ross
Well, I'm
did
just
what he
saying,
wanted to do.
you know what I'm saying? You know, and then well, I'm saying even if he could, there's nothing he could do with it.
Yeah.
He tried to have a show, can't have a show.
Mm-mm. No, I can't have no show. That's especially with that, and then the paperwork is starting to circulate now, and pretty much all the rappers is like, once they see this paperwork, it's like,
And I can see the title now. This is the real fall of BMF.
facts.
Now this is the play. They're gonna try to come back out with it, the BMF story, but try to put it under Southwest T.
Focus more on him.
Which is under his name and banner.
Oh yeah.
But now information is gonna come out on Southwest T, because alleged story is he was getting extorted in prison. For those who don't know, Southwest T wasn't like that.
Nah, he's
more of the
he was a
get
book
along,
burner.
go along, get along type of guy.
Nerd.
Easygoing nerd. I don't really want no confrontation. He's more that type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like Meech, like if I gotta do that, then that's what I need to do. Like if I need to fight, I'll fight. If I need to shoot you, I'll shoot you. I don't want to, but if that's what I need to do, I'll do.
Yeah.
He's more of a adapt type of guy. Southwest T isn't. He really wasn't cut out for the game.
Right.
He was just really smart.
Smart, yeah. Book smart.
Meech was more of the street smart type of guy. And more of the people person.
Mm-hmm.
So, man, this is a juicy story, man. We're gonna see how it unfolds. We'll be back talking more on this, man. It ain't over yet, man.
It is not over.
It is not over. We're gonna see what happens. I don't know if 50 is gonna come out with a documentary or not. I don't know what's gonna happen.
He's gonna come out with a documentary. You can believe that.
What if 50 recasts the Meech character and shows a different side of the BMF?
He's diabolical enough to do that. He's diabolical enough to do that.
Shows the snitching. Shows
just stretch it out to where it should. He's diabolical enough to do that.
This thing could get really, and people are gonna want to watch it because they're gonna want to see.
I'm one of them.
I'm gonna watch it.
I'm one of them.
So it's gonna be a hit, and I'm sorry it has to ruin a guy, like for who his reputation is supposed to be. Man, that's why it pays to be a civilian.
Facts. Crime doesn't pay.
Crime don't pay, man. And if you're gonna be in that lifestyle, you have to be thorough and diabolical.
Facts.
Similar to a 50 Cent. 50 is moving how a gangster will move.
Facts.
People are mad at him. It's like, bro, that's how gangsters are.
Ruthless.
They ruthless. When I need to be ruthless, I'll be ruthless. But if you my guy, I got you.
I got you. Yep.
For anybody who's been around any gangsters, that's how they are.
That's how they move.
They got your back.
Loyalty is everything to them.
Everything. They got your back, but you cross them, you got an enemy for life.
Yep. Good luck.
And they ask, how can I trust you with anything? I see you with my enemy. I'm gonna trust you. Facts. Especially to do business. I'm gonna trust you. How I know y'all ain't plotting on me? That's the eyes of a gangster. That's how gangsters think. That's why another gang member, he can't go hang out with a other rival gang because he's like, man, what are you doing? Are you plotting on us? Are you trying to backdoor us?
Yeah. And you got all that's on the table.
So don't look at this as through a civilian lens. Look at how a gangster would see it.
Facts.
We're civilians, so we can't look at it of how we would do things. We look at it at how gangsters would do things. And if you grew up in the hood, you've probably seen some gangsters and how they move. Not street punks, actually like gangsters. And you will get a chance to see how they move. You still there, John? I think John froze out. I think you froze, John. But he'll be back with us in a moment there. But look at this at in different facets, man. But I hate it has come to this. And I hate things has gotten this messy to the point to where it has taken food out of a lot of people's mouths. It has ruined a lot of reputations. And it has deprived us of a good TV show and probably many more projects. And I just hate it has come to this, man. Man, somebody put you on, man. Be loyal, man. Be loyal to them, man. If they're helping you get to the bag, or if they're helping you reach, your goals or your dreams, or helping you reach the success, man, and it's not causing you no harm, man, be loyal, man. Mind the business that pays you. 100%, man. Mind the business that pays you, man. Don't get hung up on the fame and the glitter and the glam, which I thought Big Meech did. He goes, hangs out. Rick Ross calls him up saying, "Hey, man, I got some money for you." He said, "Okay." He goes down there. He want to party with Ross. Ross has other motives. Ross just really want to get at 50, make 50 mad. And Big Meech is not peeping game. Either he wasn't peeping game or Big Meech just didn't care. One of the others. I want to say that he just wasn't peeping game. 50, Big Meech just saying, "Man, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to get down. I'm trying to get down with who I think is hot." And Rick Ross is a big name, and he's trying to get down with Ross. And so end up doing that, and it end up costing him, his son's show, and now the whole snitch allegations are out on him, and I don't know, man. I don't know. But we're gonna see how this thing is gonna play out, man. We're gonna see how this thing is gonna work out, how it's gonna roll. And it's gonna be a crazy ride, man. 50 look like he is completely done with the Meech family. The Flannery, I think is their name, the Flannery family. So, and it looked like all the other rappers and things are done with them too, because of the dirt that was on their name. Now, can they still, move around and move and shake? Yeah, they can. Snitching ain't as big business as it used to be. Gunna out here, he's still selling out. He's still, he's still doing numbers. So Gunna just told, and we seen Woody up there. He told, and but he recounted a lot of stuff. So there's still a way, man, and we would like for things to be, we would like for things to be clear cut, but they're not, man. And so, like I said, 50 is done with the Meech family, and I hate that this took money out of people's mouths and out of people's pocket, but this is what it is, man. Mind the business that pays you.
Facts.
Flat out. Just mind the business that pays you, man. Stick with the people that that's getting you to your goals and dreams. All the other stuff don't even matter. The whole Raw situation,
irrelevant. Look what it cost you, though.
So, man, that's what we're here to tell y'all, man. But we're gonna be reporting on this, man. We're gonna track this down, man.
Yeah, this is not over.
There will be more videos, man. So, man, tune in, rock with us, man, as we continue, man, to dig deeper into this whole messy situation. To see what 50's gonna do. 50 is loud but quiet at the same time. He would joke with you online, but you don't really know what he got up his sleeve. And so, I don't know what to tell Meech now, man, y'all. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Especially Big Meech. Little Meech is young, so Big Meech, he's trying to. I understand what he was trying to do. Like, I'm old, so I want to get as much money as I can because I just want to enjoy the rest of my life. That's kind of where he was thinking. I want to say. I don't think he was trying to be vindictive towards 50.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ross promised him some money. And he's thinking, like, I heard it was somewhere upwards of 2 million. So I'm thinking he's thinking, like, man, if I can get some money, like, I can enjoy the rest of the 25 years of my life or whatever. And, I can travel and, just have fun.
Right.
Not understanding how things are moving out here and shaking. And they come out here and sit down for a while and just really see and peep game.
Facts.
His son should have put him up on game. But it is what it is, man.
Yeah, because he could even just got on the podcast circuit. He went on the podcast circuit.
Interview circuit. Now I know the interview is gonna be kind of hard because I don't know about his travel situation because he still got an ankle monitor on. So,
bro, how are we doing it?
Yeah, but I'm saying like most interviews, like TV shows, gonna want you to come.
I mean, you could, like I said, not the TV show. You could just start out on the podcast circuit. Like Vlad do a lot of his interviews remote.
So. But had he started a podcast,
he would have monetized so quickly.
Or stories of BMF.
He would have monetized. He would have monetized it in a couple weeks, like a week or two.
He would have killed the game.
Facts.
He would have killed the game and made money so fast.
Cause that's what baby brother doing. Terrence Williams. He got a podcast out and he's doing the interview circuit.
But man, like I said, man, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Y'all keep rocking with us, man. As we continue to dig down this whole saga, man, it's getting crazy, man, and everyone got their opinion about it, man. We're not here. We're not here to shape your opinion, man. We're here to give you the story, man. It is what it is. You can feel how you want to feel. You're totally welcome to that.
Put them in the comments.
You got any questions? Got any questions? Put it in the comments, man.
Yes, sir.
But with all that being said, man, follow us, man. Let that be known. Follow us on all social media platforms, man. At Let That Be Known. And man, continue to rock with us, man. Continue to show us love. We'll show it back, man. Reach out with us. Any questions, we will respond, man. And we love y'all, man.
Yeah.
Peace out.